always wondered something. It's very weird, but I figured I could talk about it. I mean, from the title, you guys are probably like, what the heck is he talking about? Well, I mean, it's very, very straightforward if you read the title. Buying condoms, right? Always an awkward experience, incredibly awkward experience. It doesn't get better with time. In fact, it probably gets worse. I think you just grow to kind of just accept it. You know what I mean? I remember like, when I remember when I first had to buy condoms and stuff like that, I was very like super self-conscious and shit. I was like, oh my God, like, you know, everybody's gonna look at me and judge me and stuff. But it's ironic, right? Like you want to buy condoms so you can prevent like, you know, STDs and, you know, potential offspring roaming freely around the world that are, you know, weren't planned and stuff like that. It's kind of like obvious and stuff, but the story is just, oh my gosh. One particular story, stands out a lot, and I love to tell this because it's very it was one of the most awkward moments of my life. I wanted to share with you guys, see if you guys had any relatable stories and stuff like that when it comes to this. Now, I'm not sure how y'all get down in Germany and stuff like that, because I know a lot of my audience is, of course, from Germany, but buying contraception is just woo. Most times it's available like just out there, like in like the, I think, a personal care section and stuff like that. But so there are some places where they only have it behind the counter. So it's kind of split, right? Like it depends on the place you go to, the establishment. So I guess before I get into the story, y'all let me know in Germany and stuff, can you buy condoms over the counter, or do you have to go to like some, I don't know, like do you have to ask for you know, some stuff? Like do you basically have to ask the cashier if they have some behind the counter, or do they have them like already available, like, you know, on shelves and things of that nature? Because, you know, just something interesting to kind of just think about, because this particular story takes place when your boy was a wee little lad. I was like probably 19. 18, 19. I think I was probably 18, but I was 18 years old, and I had you know, my girlfriend and I at the time were trying to, you know, get down with the get down, man. We're trying to get busy, but we're trying to, you know, do our thing, you know, in a nice, clean, you know, manner and stuff like that. So we're like, yo, we have to go get some condoms. So of course everything's closed, because mind you, we were getting hot and ready and stuff like that, like at like midnight. So most stores are closed at the time. So we're like, you know, in Chicago and stuff, in like her dorm, which is in this tall ass building, and we take the elevator downstairs. We walk across the street to this gas station, and we're like looking everywhere, right? Because normally there's like a little section, and it's like personal care item type stuff, and, you know, they have like miniature item, like I guess miniature sizes of like, you know, portion sizes of like, you know, a bunch of different items. So if it's like toothpaste and it's like in a tiny little box as opposed to the, you know, full size box, if it's like snacks or like miniature snacks, it's like something to hold you over for like a little bit, you know. I think it's designed for people who are trying to go to the airport or something like that. It's like travel items for the most part. But anyways, I was like, damn, like normally in that area too, you'll have like, you know, some medicines, like over the counter medicines, and like, you know, things that for your body that you can take care of. So a lot of times like they'll have condoms there. So I'm like, cool, I'll just buy the box condoms, go up there, no big deal. Now my girlfriend at the time was like super like, I don't know, like super nervous, right? She's like, oh my God, like, okay, let's just act like, you know, let's buy some candy and kind of try to cover it up and blah, blah, blah. First off, when we got to the personal care section, there were no condoms. So I was like, sheesh. Second off, I was actually hungry, so I did wind up buying candy anyways. But when I got to the counter, there was this man, right? And oh man, it's gonna sound so bad, but I shit you not, this is exactly how the conversation went down, right? So I go up to the counter, I look at the guy, I'm like, excuse me, sir. He's like, hello? And I'm like, I was like, what do you need help with? And I'm like, can I? And I tried to say it discreet, because there were a few other people in the store. It was like me, my girlfriend, and like 3 other dudes, right? Just roaming around looking on the shelves and stuff. I'm like, do you happen to have any condoms? And he's like, what? I'm like, condoms? Condiments? Oh, we don't have condiments here. You have to go to a grocery store. And I'm like, no, condoms. Like, I know you have to go to a grocery store. This is a gas station. And I'm like, oh, no. Fuck. Because there was a language barrier. All right. There was a little language barrier. I'm like, condoms. And so I looked at him and I'm like, condoms, condoms, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, you want condoms? And then everybody in the goddamn store laser beam. It was like I was the only thing in the store at the moment, and I'm like, god damn it. And then of course my girl's next to me and stuff like that, and she looking mad embarrassed. And then of course it just gets worse, man, because since the guy says this shit loud as fuck, everybody wants to throw their 2 cents in the situation. So there's this guy that was in the store behind me. He's like, oh, you finna get some buns tonight, huh? You finna get some buns? You about to be all up in that? Is that what you fucking right there, bro? Like, and I'm like, oh my god, yo, embarrassing. And then of course the other people chime in and start talking shit. I'm like, this is exactly why nobody wants to buy no goddamn protection, dog, because people make the experience so fucking awkward. And she was just like, yo, she was blushing and stuff like that. My girl was blushing. I was just like, man, like, get me the hell out of here. And so what made it worse is the guy was looking for him, and he's like, we have he had a little pack and stuff like that. So he's like, we got the regular and extra large. And I'm like, whoa, holy fuck, my guy, like pass me the extra large. It's like, oh, you have a battering ram, huh? And I'm like, god damn it, yo, it just didn't stop. Everybody, and it was like, I think it was like 4 other people. So altogether it was like, the 3 dudes, myself, my girl, and then the store man. Bro, it just was very uncomfortable, very fucking uncomfortable. A story to this day that I think about and cringe, because you had to be in the moment to really like get what I was feeling. My heart was thudding. I'm like, bro, can you just ring me up? And of course, with my luck, the cash register was broken. Like where you have to put your little the card scan bullshit, like where you put your card in, that was broken. So he had to ring me up. The system was slow. So I was in the store for a good 20 minutes trying to buy a little box of condoms and some candy. Condoms and candy. That's literally it. But it turned into a whole theatrical show. So moral of the story is it doesn't ever get easier, because the times after that, incredibly awkward. There was another time I went to a grocery store to buy some condoms, and it was like everybody looked at me like I was the devil. I'm like, just glaring at me and stuff like that, shaking their heads. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, dog, what do you want me to not wear condoms? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, all in all, have you guys had any awkward situations purchasing protection? And if you have, let me know in the comments down below. And on top of that too, how readily available is it for people that want to practice safe practices and whatnot? I'm very curious. That's my experience. It's all over the place, wacky and weird and awkward, because that's the situation I get myself into. But it's pretty much it. I'll see you later. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.